Hi, Len here. Welcome to Lake Hawea. Today we're going to be giving one of our other crews a bit of a hand on this place, getting the fixings done for the pre-roof inspection later today. And then the rest of the week we're going to be over in Cromwell doing some cladding and a little bit of finishing inside. So we're basically just bolting down the external frames. So part of that is the lintel fixings, which get handy brakes, or some of them get handy brakes. And then you've also got your bracing units, which need bolts at the end, and then all the external frames need bolts at a maximum of 900 centres. So you end up looking at multiple plans to make sure you put them in the right place. Cam's being kind enough to drill the holes for me. .30 and the ground's still frozen solid. It's a good cold though. It's actually pretty warm in the sun. There's not a breath of wind.
Everything that happens is motivation.
Any plate joins like here need a bolt within 150 of the end. And the problem here was we actually had 7 studs in a row, so I've had to dismantle this to get this stud over so that I can get a bolt in there. Now I've got this tricky situation where I need to get the stud back over this bolt, so I just need to cut a bit out of it. There we go. The other guys can finish that off. The inspector will probably still want to see that. Any penetrations in the bottom plate need to be fixed down on either side as well. So even though this isn't a complete cut of the bottom plate, it's still a weak point, so we need to fix it down. Yeah, how much I can fit in these pouches. This one here is going to be a wee bit tricky. It's 4 o'clock and there goes the sun. Do 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 do. What a sight though, eh?
Sport, a stunning admission from Wales coach Warren Gatland, who's told the BBC he wouldn't have returned to
Alrighty, this morning our first job is to finish off this feature wall.
We're going to be using this shiplap weatherboard. Cam's finishing off that wall, I'm going to make a start in the bathroom, doing another little feature wall in there. So one problem I've just picked up is, see, you got that dark line there, because there's a slight bevel on there, so I'm just going to rip that off. There, that looks a lot better, doesn't it? Because this wasn't the original plan, we don't have blocking across the top here, so what we've got to do, unfortunately, is nail further down. So we've marked where the dwang line is, and that's going to be a nailing point. Now we can, if we have a stud, also nail there, and then our beading that will go across the top, we can nail that to the studs as well. There we go. How good does that look? Just needs a wee bit of beading or something across the top. We're not quite sure yet what's happening, but that looks pretty good. While I've been doing that feature wall in the bathroom, Cam's been finishing this off. Looks pretty mint. We're back in Cromwell today to do some cladding. This is the cladding we're using. It's larch, which I think is imported. It looks very similar to Douglas fir, but it's a much tighter grain, probably because it grows in a colder climate, whereas the Douglas fir that we grow here, or what we call just Oregon, is has a bit of a looser grain, and it grows too fast and it's quite prone to splitting. Mind you, this will split as well. You can see a few splits down the end, so I can't use it for full boards. So I'll need to cut that off, and I'll just use that for the shorter bits. So the cut ends of this larch need to be sealed. It's pretty much the same as any other cladding. The timber claddings always need to be sealed, but weatherboards will normally prime them with paint. Hardy's board as well will get primed. And this wee angle here is so it sits above the head flashing on the windows. These are the nails that we're using. They are, I think, they're stainless steel bronze rose heads. Quite hard to drive in because they're grooved as well. You don't want to go swinging wildly and missing your nail, because if you leave any marks on the timber, you can't just fill them. You also want to be careful with marking it. So pencil lines, I mean, you can do a few very lightly and just give them a wee sand, but generally you just don't want to mark it. While Cam's doing the cladding down there, I've just got a wee job to do here. So I found out, I was putting the cavity battens on, and that the dwang heights on that half of the gable don't match this side. So I've had to take off all the paper and block out that side. I've almost finished. I didn't film most of it, unfortunately, but I'll show you the last wee bit. Now I can finally get to doing the cavity battens on this side. Right, bit of a change of plans, I'm not going to finish that. We are packing up and heading home back to Christchurch. Mate, how good does this look? It's a shame we didn't get to quite finish it, but it's very time consuming. That's right, Cam's back here next week to finish up. That's us, we're heading home. I'll see you guys next week, and there goes my ride. See ya.